Here's me just talking, and you can't hear me because microphone. Anyway, howdy. Welcome to the Artist. Oh, I almost said the Artist Haven. That's my old channel. um, this is the Candy Artist. I'm Tish. I am the Candy Artist for Mama T's Candies here in Texas. So, without further ado, let's see here. Oh, click here. Here's me being on the iPad. Okay. That goes away. Cool. So, let's get you down. We're going to start with Blue Pucker, which is our blue raspberry sour. And we're only making that out of the three. And the mix, blue is like flies out of off the shelf. So I need to make more. And we're gonna make a full batch. We'll reserve some of it for the purple pucker and the green pucker to go in the pucker pack. Say that fast. And then we'll do that mix. But we'll do that next week. What I'm planning on doing is going live every day that I make candy, or I'm packaging candy or something. So we can chat and you can learn how I make stuff. And yeah, anyway, let's figure out, push a button, push this button. There we go. Now that's my tail top. Yeah, let's go. So the first order of business is wash hands. Let's go wash hands. Okay. So I don't have my body cam on just yet. That'll come later. So I'm just gonna wash my hands here and sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in my head because no one wants to hear me sing. And then while we're in the kitchen, or the candy lab as I like to call it, I use a pink towel, and a pink towel only, for drying my hands. So that's all it's used for. That way I don't go through a whole roll of paper towels, which is not good for the environment, nor is it good for life in general. So we got the big pot here, and we got my scale right here, and my recipe is over there, or formula. I'm trying to get better at that verbiage. And then we've got the big tub of corn syrup. So let's get this open. Okay, that's funny. I have this light that I've been struggling to get to turn on, and it just all of a sudden turned on. It's like, what is going on? Okay, I have somewhere, I know I washed it. Did it get put away in the wrong drawer? No. It is a big scoop for said corn syrup. Oh, for Pete's sake. I'm sorry. I'm usually a little bit more prepared than this, but I just got this and I washed it, and I thought I put it over here for me to use. There it is. Haha. I put it in the wrong spot, which is typical for me. So because I'm tactile, I guess, I don't like having my hands sticky. So I've tried doing the whole bloop 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 thing that all the other candy makers do. I get grossed out. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna grab a bowl. This bowl will work. Where'd it go? There. I'm gonna throw some cold water in here. And I tried this with the little 4-ounce scoop that I have, and it worked. So, get the scoop wet. It's the first time I've used this big one though. So we'll see. Holy Hannah. That gives me a pound right off the bat. Woo! Okay. I'm going to change this to mode to pounds. There we go. Wow. That's epic. Nope. I'm going to grab this little silicone spatula. Here we go. It's kind of fun. So we're at 3 pounds already, so this should bring us close to where we need to be. Close. There's 426. Just a little bit more. Go. Okay, so we're going to measure out more today. So I'm just going to leave this here, and then we're going to bring this bucket and this lid over on the other counter. Let's carry this over there too. Because we have 3 batches that I want to make today, and while this one is doing its simmering thing, we'll do the measurements that we need for this batch for the additional stuff, the acids and the flavor oil. And then next is sugar. And I might need to go get another bag. In fact, I think I'm gonna go need to get another bag. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go get another bag. Let me grab a bag. So I use pure cane sugar in my candy making, just because I found that beet sugar can be inconsistent. Unless you use the same brand, unless it says pure cane on it, you are kind of gambling with how much is beet sugar and how much is cane sugar. And they all cook a little different. So I tend to go with what I know, and that is pure cane sugar. And this is Imperial brand, which I've never used until I moved down to Texas. Which is funny, I think, because I think this is made in New York, maybe? I don't know, we'll find out. Alright, so let's turn our scale back on, because while I was getting sugar, it turned off. Put the rest of the bag in here. It doesn't. Oh, it's made in Minneapolis. What? United Sugar. Well, you know what? Maybe I have had this before. Maybe it's Domino that I'm thinking of. All right, we're going to set that in the garbage. And we're going to put the lid on this guy. I dripped corn syrup on it. There we go. And lift. Okay, the next thing I like to add is the acid, which is potassium bitartrate, otherwise known as cream of tartar. So I'm going to be adding about half a teaspoon. And what this does is keeps, it helps invert the sugar and keeps it from crystallizing. And then put that up there, because I left my scooper in there from yesterday. Okay, so we've got corn syrup, sugar. Now we add, water. And I'm going to tear this out. And I go by weight for everything. For bigger quantities, it's usually pounds and ounces. For smaller quantities, I use grams. There we go. Now, we take our wood spoonula. This spoon was a gift to me from the, no, I'm kidding, sorry. I just all of a sudden had a flashback of Three Musketeers. Ooh. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. So, what I do here, stir this up. This is a gumbo spoon that I got off of Amazon, and then I sanded it down because it's a little bit rough. So, but I love the shape of it because it goes straight down the side. And then we can get this going. There we go. I just want to make it look like sugar applesauce. And get the corn syrup mixed in with the sugar and the water kind of evenly dispersed. And then I need another scraper. This will work. Let's scrape this off. We only use this. I only use the wooden spoon because it's not seasoned and like sealed, and I don't want to introduce any raw sugar crystals or water to the cooked sugar syrup. I will use a silicone spatula after this. So we've got everything in there. Now the last thing I do before I put it on the stove, and this is something that I've been doing for a while now, because a lot of places use like a brush, or they just rely on the steam coming down and washing the sides of the pot, which you can do, and I do, but this is me being overly cautious. So I take the Zep bottle, fill it full of distilled water. This Zep bottle has been washed and sanitized, and then I just power wash the sides down really fast. And yes, this adds a little bit of extra water, but only about 3 or 4 ounces, which I adjusted in my formula. So, and I don't know if you can see it from the top view, but when we do another batch, I'll have my other camera on my body cam on, so you can kind of see. There we go. Now we're going to take this over the stove and crank it up. I don't like that little bit. It's going to come off. It's not going to come off. So let's grab another little spatula. Let's get that off of there. There we go. I'm just going to set that right there because I know it's dirty. Okay. Oh my goodness. Everybody's telling me, oh, you need to lose weight. You need to go to the gym. I'm like, dude, come make candy with me. Ironically, I've lost about 30 pounds. 25, 30 pounds. I don't know. I don't really weigh myself. I mean, I do weigh myself on occasion. So it's going to take a little while. Probably about a half hour. So what we'll do in that interim is we'll get the little scale out. We'll get my little jar out, which I hand washed. So they are over here. So what I like to do, because I'm a klutz and I spill things, so I save jars and other things, wash them, scrub them off, get the labels off, scrub them off again, and do all this scrubbing. And then I wash and sanitize them, and I use them to measure my flavor oils. So let's find the blue raspberry. That's great. There we go. And Let's make sure this is grams, which it should be because I always use it in grams. So when I was first starting, I used a rough guesstimate because ounce by weight is usually very similar to an ounce by measurement, and by like volume. And so I started from there and just kind of calculated, did a bunch of little test passages to make sure and to see what kind of flavors I needed to use. So we're going to use the blue. We're going to get that guy out and have him ready. So we've got the flavor oil, and I do use colors that are artificial, but I will have a line. I'm coming up with a line that's all natural, no colors added. I tried some natural food colorings and they just, to be real, they tasted like garbage. So now we're gonna take, it tastes like burnt dirt. I mean, not that I've ever had burnt dirt before. So I use this old citric acid container to put, my acids in. Yes, we're gonna add more acid. Let's see, citric. And I need my scoop. So let's see, measure this out. Now citric acid kind of looks like sugar. So you always want to make sure you have all your containers labeled accordingly, because actually it kind of looks like salt too, to be real. And I opened the new bag, so I need to order a new bag. All right. I went a little heavy-handed there. Okay. Set that there. And then I've got this little guy. This is what I've been experimenting with, and he's almost gone. This is the malic acid. Tear that out. Oops. You know what? We're going to wait. And my alarm going off. Give me one moment. Okay, since I stepped away from the table, and wash my hands again. towel. Okay, now, it's still on, groovy. Now to measure the malic, which I put less of for the pucker, for the blue pucker. Just wait a bit more. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna put this on top of here because we're gonna, I don't think we need this anymore actually. So we'll put it up in the dirty dish pile right there. I almost could add that to the big bucket that I have. Okay. Next step is we're going to take this and we're going to combine them together. This is a very scientific way of combining things. This is the professional craziness. And then what I do, because I'm me, on off is here. There we go. Put you over here. This is my little chopper. Plug it in. Now this is why I can't make blue pucker lollies unless I hand form them. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try today. We'll see what happens. Usually it doesn't fare well for me. So I do this, one, to combine it, and two, to get out. I can hear it, like there's a major lump like right there. And sometimes you can just kind of beat it against the sides and they break up. Okay. Now I'm going to put it in here. And then we put this down below again. And then I'm going to have to go here. Come on. Okay, why? Let's try this. There we go. Just didn't want to do it. Okay, we turn it up full blast. Then we pulse it. Shake it upside down. And yes, do I have to do this? No. This is a, excuse me, this is about a 13-pound batch. So when I start doing big batches, and I have like someone helping me, and I can actually do that size, then I have a big food processor that I can put it in. But for now, this makes it all pretty consistent in its dimensions. It makes sure it's mixed up real well. We're going to put this over here, out of the way, and then we're going to check on our sugar water. There we go. How are we doing over here, fellas? We're not even boiling yet. Okay. Well, since we are waiting, let's measure out for our next batches. So tomorrow I'm going to go live and we're going to be making just plain old lollipops. I gotta do super cinnamon today too, because I finally got it in. So green apple, peach, and cherry are part of the orchard mix, and all three of them we need lollies and candy. So let's have a little discussion here while we wait. So I put all my formulas on a clipboard so I know what I need to make next. So I go through my inventory, I grab the recipes and I put them on a clipboard, and then I know, okay, I need to make these. So I have several behind these. I have several going everywhere. But the blue pucker, I knew I just needed to make that one. This is part of our orchard mix, which is green apple, peach, and cherry. We also make lollies from these. So this is what I'm going to be making tomorrow. So we're going to measure 2 today because I'm going to make these other 2 today. And then I'll make the other one tomorrow. So I only have 2 pots left. Oh no, I have 3. Yeah, I have 4 pots now. I got them from IKEA. It's so great. I'm so excited. But anyway, so what I do with the one that I'm going to keep overnight is I don't add water to it. I take the sugar and the corn syrup, and then I cover it with saran wrap, put the lid on, and it's good overnight. And then I just have to add the water in the morning. So let's get these 3 measured, and they all should be about the same. Yep. And we'll get the flavor oils for the 2 that I'm going to make after this live stream, like later on today. We'll get those flavor oils measured, and by then we should be rocking and rolling with that guy. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Let's bring you back down. There we go. Yay, I'm loving this, okay? So what I do is I go get my pots. How are we doing over here? Oh, we are boiling now. See, this is what I'm talking about. Never mind. Because we got to prep and get ready. Well, let's see. We'll see what temperature we're at. We should be at about 230. Let me get my... This is the fun part of making sugar, or anything with sugar, is it goes from 0 to 90 in like literally 5 minutes. So we are at 228, 29, 230. Okay, so we got about 10-15 minutes before it reaches our desired temperature. So we are going to get our things in place. Oh, and you know what we need to do? So I take this off because this is where we're going to be pouring. And this goes down underneath here. Oop. We need to turn on our heat lamps and our heating pad. There we go. We got, so let's do this. Okay. I need that to go up there. Okay, that's ready. Scissors are ready. Roller's ready. We just need to make sure heat lamps are on. Because sometimes the light turns on. Off, on. I need to get a little silver marker so I can read that a little bit better. On. Well, these guys should be on, just on their own. Because these don't have little on-off switches. And then what I do is I have one of these guys where you push the button and it tells you what the temperature is. It's 76. So it's 74 degrees in here. And about 45% humidity. If it gets over 60% humidity, I won't make candy in here, just because it'll all end up sticking together. So, all right, my heat lamps are on. Now I need to get the other mat down. Now the reason why we're doing it this way, and I'm going to tell you a little story. Story time. I went and I bought this stainless steel table. Spent over $200 on it, plus borrowed Grandpa's truck and drove about an hour. And they told me it was a 16 gauge steel table. And I was like, it doesn't feel quite right. But I thought maybe it's just been a long time since I bought a table or worked with a table. Well, get it home, do some research, find out it's only 18 gauge. And 18 gauge doesn't work well. And I dumped my stuff on there, had it all waxed up, ready to go. That's another video. Let's just say things did not end well. So, yeah. So we've come up with this setup, and it works pretty good. I put my bars underneath. This is a silicone mat. It's heat safe, food safe. The reason why it's inexpensive is because it doesn't, like a Silpat or the more higher end, the ones that are like $70 a piece, it doesn't have the reinforcement to go in the actual oven. You can't put this in, well, you could put this in the oven, but it's just not going to last as long because the difference in temperature going heat, cold, heat, cold, heat, cold, it disturbs the silicone. So you don't want to do that. All right, I'm going to take this moment to, I got to find my spatula. Here's my spatula. So this I actually got in culinary school. That is red food coloring from mixing frosting, buttercream. And we are at 235. Let's give this guy a little twist. There we go. And I'll bring you over. Hang on, I can do that. I can do that now. I have the technology. So this is on my switch pod. So let's switch you over to the travel camera. Yeah, nice view of my cables there. So we are at 235. Now this it'll take a minute to get from 235 to 250, but then it goes from 250 to 305, because I go between 305 and 310. Unless I'm making lollies, then I go 300. But yeah, there's that. Hang on, should we do some ASMR? We'll do this. Okay. We could actually just, sorry about the microphone noise. We could just do, will it let me do it? Will it let me do it? Alright, you guys can watch it boil. And I'll be right back. Well, I'm not leaving, because I'm not going to leave my camera on the stove unattended, because that would be juvenile. But let's see if we can do this. Can you guys see that? You can kind of see. I gotta move the lid. You can move the pot too. There you go. Let's move this lid over here. There we go. Not the best background, but hey, you know, it's my garbage can. But yeah, you can watch it come up to temp. I don't think we're gonna have an issue with it. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a sip of my coffee. You know what? I think we are going to put a quick case. I apologize for the microphone noise. No, that's not going to work. Okay. Note for tomorrow. Use the Rode mic so I can put it on the thing and it'll work a little bit better. All right. Just one moment. Okay. Sneezes come in threeses. I'm going to wash my hands. Ever get those sneezes that you can feel coming on for like 20 minutes and they just don't come and they just don't come and then all of a sudden you get 3 of them right in a row? Yeah, that's what just happened. Gratefully, I was not carrying a hot pot of sugar, because that has happened. that, folks. 2:45, huh? Well, let's let it sit at 2:45 then. There, we'll do the ASMR. Okay. Didn't realize my mic was muted. I need to have, actually, I'm moving this guy up here. There we go. Because I bump it with I have it clipped to my apron, and I don't know. Let's see if this works. Hang on. This bill is kind of big. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to mute the microphone because I want to get a drink while we wait for the sugar syrup to come down. Okay, wash hands, and then we'll add the flavor and color in the pot, because we are at 310 still, but the bubbles went down. That's my thing, is I want the bubbles gone. Sorry to those of you who hear running water and have to go to the restroom. It's funny because if I hear it, excuse me, if I hear it, I'm fine. But if I see it and hear it, then it's like, okay, gotta pee now. Okay, towel. Are we ready for this? We're ready for this. We're hyped up. Ready to go. We're ready to go. Hey, we're fired up. We're ready to go. Sorry. Flashbacks to high school cheerleading. There we go. I'm going to put it in a glass cup. We let it drip off. And that is ready to use with the next batch. So crazy because it looks like string. All right, so we're gonna take our flavor oil. I don't have a way to make this closer, do I? I think I can do it right about there. Again, we're getting camera angles. Okay, so that goes in. Put the lid on it. And then give this a shake. Put the color in. With the mat, I can't put the color in when it's on the table. There we go. every time I make blue pucker or blue raspberry anything, and I use this royal blue, because it kind of turns out Smurf color, right? I always ask myself in my head the true question that everybody asks: what color does a Smurf turn when you choke it? I know that's morbid. I'm a little weird. It's okay. All right, so I need to move some of this stuff, the scale and stuff, so I don't bump that off. These need to go in the sink along with this. I usually have hot water ran, but I still have personal dishes to do. So we're going to throw on our gloves here. And let's turn on travel cam so you can watch it pour. This is the pretty part. Okay, now I got most of it out of the pot. Let's set the pot up here, grab my spatula, and I just scrape the bottom. There we go. I'll let this sit here and cool off for a minute. So, kind of looks like stained glass. I love these gloves because bloop, there we go. All right, now we let that we are at 270s. And then it dropped down to about 260, 255, 260. And then we'll add, so there's one spot that's, I think I'm going to get another one of these mats too. Okay, give that a minute. I had a whole conversation with the cat. I don't know, she's just needy today. I'm like, honey, I can't help you. Okay, we are at about 260. The outer edges are about 240. But yeah, we're right at 260. I just want to make sure that we're below 260 because the citric acid specifically can burn. There we go. We're going to sprinkle this on. Now all I can smell is citric. We'll put this back all together. There we go. Put it in its bowl. And then we take the edge. Okay, I'll move this pot. Actually, these need to go, and they'll be fine there. Okay. Okay. Why is it always the side that is like the furthest away from me? See that? That pop, that was my table warping. I have tried every configuration I can think of to not get it to do that, save for one thing. And I'll fix it. So we do this until I can get it fixed. Takes a little bit more time. You gotta be a little bit more patient, but it works. Hi, Andy. I am making what we call blue pucker, which I only just realized that there is an alcohol called blue pucker. Blue raspberry sour is the flavor that we're making today. How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. I've been kind of flying under the radar. That's the words I was looking for. Words are hard. Oh, bubble, bubble, bubble. I can't pop it that well. Okay, we're gonna pull this back. I'm gonna pull it this way. Try and get. So this is why I try and make the acids finer, is because it takes me longer to mix them in. The color turns out really pretty. It's not this, it looks really kind of greenish blue, but it's, when the finished product is done, it doesn't have that same tone. Come on. Okay. This is this is the part that gets boring for me. It's like, okay, come on. I want to go pull this. There. Aw. Now, it's starting to cool enough where we can pull it away from the silicone. Yeah, our bodies are really weird things. I'm sorry you're going through that, Andy. Let that sit and cool off a little bit. I thought about getting a cold rag and just wiping it on there, but then I'm like, well, that's just one more thing for me to sanitize and have ready. It's just like, I am gonna get a fan for underneath though, so it pulls the cold air from the room and cools the table. Just haven't gotten that far yet. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Alright, so we're going to take this, and we're going to be a bit daring. Oh, come on now. Here we go. So there's still a lot of heat coming off of this. So flip this up. There we go. Everything's been really crazy around here lately. Getting to markets and showing up at markets and realizing that some people are just in promotion for the money, and then there's other people that really take pride in what they do and want to see you be successful. And finding out who falls into which categories has been an interesting journey, shall we say. Yep, now we're starting to get somewhere. But we've got a market on Saturday, so day after tomorrow. That's why I wanted to have the blue raspberry made. And tomorrow we're going to do lollies. I'll be live doing lollies tomorrow. I'll be a little bit more prepared because this is the first time I've used Ecamm, so I wasn't sure if I had everything right. Still not sure if I have everything right. But so far all the cameras are working. There we go. See, this is what I was waiting for. Chaboom. Because we'll get to the point where it all peels away. So let's see if we can do this. This is how I did it last time and it worked really well. Let's see if it works this time. Because what I want to do is get it off this big mat and get it on the mat that's underneath. So I pick it up, fold those over, and I grab these. Just gonna go back here, and then because the mat underneath is cooler than the mat I'm working with. And then gather all this up. You know, I never really liked the sound of the scraping on the table. I don't know if I'd like this sound much better. I feel like I'm wearing, it's like a pair of galoshes. Or like my grandfather used to say, over boots. See, now this is all nice and cool. So I can get this up. So we're almost ready for the hook. All right. All right. So we did this successfully. No sugar crystals, because usually by now, if if there were any sugar crystals that caused the recrystallization of the other pieces of sugar, the other sugar molecules, we'd know by now. Usually. I say usually. I just bumped the other microphone and then realized that's my recording microphone, not my live stream microphone. Okay. So now we can bring it down here or down here. You know, I'm gonna get a drink and let this cool just a little bit longer. So I'm gonna get a drink now that it's not sticking, because it's still a little bit too hot. It's a little bit too flowy. So we're gonna let it sit for a minute. Because you can watch. I will turn on the overhead camera and let you see, let you watch how it can spread out. I don't like to handle it too much, but you can see gonna watch it. I might get a drink because I think I got a hair in my mouth. Okay. Jeez. Had to pour myself another beverage. I have iced coffee today, so how many calories in that? Well, considering there's what, 15 calories in, is it, tablespoon of sugar? I think maybe it's 30 calories in a tablespoon, if I remember, something like that. And there's several tablespoons in here, so we don't want to bring it over to the hook before it's ready. So it's funny how you like get to know people on the internet, and if they never meet you, they wouldn't know you in a crowd. Like I'd know Andy if he was, and I would have to hug his neck. Like I'd probably squee like a schoolgirl and then and then hug his neck, but he'd know who I was. But there's people that I've watched like for dang near a decade now, and it's like I'd squee like a squirrel girl, and then I'd be like, "Can I hug your neck, please?" Because I always ask permission. Well, most of the time. If I've already hugged your neck, then I assume that I can hug your neck again. But usually I ask permission first. You know, body space, personal space. Yeah, we're still a little too hot. You can tell by the way it stretches. So we're just going to keep folding it here and rolling it, folding it. Then I'm going to put my other gloves on because these ones are too big. Like these ones for handling the sugar is fine. I'm so grateful I got this mat though. Yes, I would recognize you in a room full of bald people. As long as I get to see your face, because I know what your eyes look like and your smile and the way you say certain words. Because you try to be, it's so cute because you try to be all posh on your live streams. But I'm like, dude, we both know neither one of us talk like that. We try to be posh on our live streams. Okay, we're almost ready. Whew. I'm already sweating. It's going to be a 2-shower day. Yep, now we're good. Can see how it... No, that side's still a little warm. You know what's funny is... I think half the guys I've dated or married were bald. Maybe I have a thing for what's his name? Patrick Stewart, because of Star Trek Next Gen. Because I always thought he was dashing. I don't know. Everybody loved Jonathan Frakes. Oh, he's so handsome. I'm like, nah, he's alright. It's like between, I guess I like the nerdy guys. Between Captain Picard and Wesley Crusher, I couldn't decide. Yeah, now we're good. Now we can get some good pulls and not have it be all droopified. So this here is about 12 pounds. So that would be 6 kilos-ish, 5 kilos. Because a kilo is 2.2 pounds. And this is 14 pounds. So it would be, yeah, right around 6. All right. We're still kind of droopy, but I can put my other gloves on. Oh no, not me coming over to the UK. That would require far too much paperwork because I don't have a passport. And yep, this whole big mass I'll get. I'm going to go pull it on the hook. In fact, I'm going to take the other camera here. Yeah, now we're getting there. See, these are smaller gloves. I bought these first, but then once I have these on, I can't take them off because my hands get a little sweaty. Not like dripping sweat, but they get enough. Like, I can't wash my hands, dry my hands, and put these on because they're just too small that way. But the yellow ones are fine. So let's take these off. We're going to grab the other camera. I think the battery should be good. I'm going to grab this camera and readjust. Well, you can get that angle. to see the cupboard because I can't get it. Wait, maybe I can. No, you kind of see the cupboard. That's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, let's switch you over to the travel camera. There is the candy hook and a little bit of the bottom of the cupboard. So we're going to take this and bring it over there. All right, who's ready for a workout? Not me. All right, here we go. There we go. Uh-oh, we're starting to stick. That's no bueno. There we go. Not quite there yet. Now it's starting to stick. All right. Let's see see. This might get kind of loud. Oh, it got too hot. That's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. Can't slow down now. Almost done. We're getting there. A couple more. Okay. Whew. What we're going to do here. So leave that for a second. Put this down over here underneath the heat lamp. Grab my other gloves. There's a little bit of work to make the sweets, yes, definitely, for sure. But it's a labor of love. So, I'm gonna take this and retry this. All right. There's always one piece that falls on the floor. That's why I'm constantly mopping the floor. Okay, so this can go in the middle of here. grab the other camera here in a second. I'm going to put this on the heat pad. Wish I could find my other IKEA mat. I don't know what happened to it. Actually, I've got that other soap hat. I'll grab that one. Because this one isn't quite big enough. So, I'll make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Let's go take the gloves off. Grab the other camera. Here, let's switch cameras so I don't make y'all dizzy. There we go. Let's grab the other camera. You guys get kind of a bird's eye view here. Because I don't have the overhead cam set up just yet. I gotta find an NDI for my Samsung phone. Okay, got that set up. Let's get you back to the travel cam. Oops. We gotta switch scenes. There we go. Let's close the door so you don't have to see the cats laying in the dirty laundry. I have laundry to do. Okay. So I'm going to show you the color of it now. So you can see the color there. Hang on one second. I'll put you back for a second. Let me turn on this lamp. Bring some light in. There we go. So, sorry about the wiggles. But you can see how much the color has changed on it. And incorporated air, so that way the flavor is more pronounced. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so I need that space. I'm trying to find a space where I can put the camera that y'all can see. Okay. The cats, they're on my last nerve today. They have been fighting like crazy. Okay, so I'm going to fold this up. And then kind of make a pointy end here. And these ones I don't do a stripe on. I don't do anything fancy with them. I just try and get them to behave. I need to re-wax my canvas. That's why I'm using the Silpats. I usually have my big IKEA one on here. But I don't know what happened to the other one. I know it's somewhere. Probably put away in the wrong spot again. Because I do that. It's like, I designed this kitchen. I should know where everything's at. So we take okay. We cut. Give it a roll. So I found that candy making is kind of a cross between working with fondant, which is kind of like candy, because fondant is actually made with a similar process of sorts. That's why it tastes kind of wonky to people. that don't know this. I'm like, well, you're eating basically candy Play-Doh. Okay, so let's move this back so the neck can get underneath there. And then we're going to give this guy a whirl. There we go. And then this guy goes here. So you gotta get at least one of these moved. There we go. Okay. Now, so for tomorrow's live stream, I'm going to see if I can get a kind of picture-in-picture so you can kind of see both sides. But like I said, I haven't gotten an NDI for my Samsung phone, and I haven't figured out what's wrong with my webcams because neither one of them want to work in any capacity on any computer. And I know they're old, but they're not that old. Let's see. Okay. This guy got flat really fast. So try to make them round so at least one side is kind of pillow shaped. Okay. So this is an old pasta maker. Well, not old. I bought it and I never used it for pasta. It was still in the box. So I turned it into a candy maker. Well, the prototype for one. And as soon as I can find someone who can fabricate one that I can test, then we'll probably start making them and selling them, because I don't want to pay for tariffs. I will for something really big, like a batch roller or something, but that's in the distant future. Hopefully not too distant, because that would really save me a ton of time. There's two things I want to get. One is a batch roller, and two is a label printer, because those are my two biggest time sucks. And they both can go with me to the commercial kitchen when I get there. And one more squeeze. There we go. I don't want folds. There we go. I'll turn the heat pad down to medium, because we are cooking. That one got a little thick, so I'm going to pull it, push it. I try to make them all uniform, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. Squeak! That was my machine, not my cat. I was not going over her tail. Like I said, I think Rhea's upstairs, because that's her normal domain. Alright, you. Let's squish you and push you. Because I don't want any folds. I want to try to avoid getting any folds, because then it makes it harder to pull the candy. Because I can't gauge how thick it is. I'm going to lay these two here. Squish. So I use my thumb more than anything. It sounds kind of weird to say that, but I just kind of realized that right now. It's like, huh. All right. Let's pull this off. There we go. Walk it over. Get this guy going. This guy needs a little love on his end. Boop. This is why I don't like wearing aprons. I always get stuck, hung up on the string. I know you're supposed to tie it in back, but I'm not that dexterous. And I'm here by myself, so there's no one here to tie it for me. I thought about getting Velcro and putting it on there, just because I'm me. All right, let's get this guy out of the way too. Well, I just knocked something over. It wouldn't be a day if I didn't knock something over. So I'm moving these bars so I have more room to put more candy on this table, stainless steel table, because we're repurposing it. There we go. I thought I had the hiccups and I was gonna get upset. But there's no need to get upset. Just stay where I put you, please. There we go. That one's really small. Okay. Starting to get cool. So, gotta work a little faster. One's got a little small, but that's okay, because the small ones we break off and make into samples. Just for you. There you go. Here we go. Oops, that was the candy getting hard at the end, because these lamps work great. So this is what we have, but this one kind of went off the deep end here, so we're gonna kind of just take the scissors and cut it by hand real quick. Now that's how I was making all the candies before, is a pair of scissors and smaller batches, way smaller batches, like super smaller. So hopefully this is not too hard. Probably is. Let's cut out. I'm going to cut off the end here. And the end here. Yeah, it's already starting to shatter. So we'll just go through and cut these out by hand really super fast. See, I'm not like, oh, they have to be exactly the same size and they have to be uniform. No. It's like, no, these are handmade. If you want uniform made candies, go to Hershey. I mean, I try. They're close. That's not like, I don't put paste like this in there. It's just when they get too small. I need to turn my heat pad back up to high. I'm so grateful I got these mats though. They're these kind of cushy mats from Costco. And let me tell you, they're saving a ton on my ankles. You know what? We need to move this here. There we go. No, there you go. Okay. So I just kind of use my thumb and make sure they're relatively the same size. This one got a little small right there, but that's okay. There we go. That's a big papa. See, and the prototype doesn't have like a guide on it, which is something that I want to make. All right, I'm gonna move that. There we go. Let's get this guy cut. So this is my life. This is what I do. Not every day, but at least a few days a week. Because I do have markets, and I do have other things I need to do, like design work. And right now I'm working on the website, I just got to take some pictures and then I can launch it. It's on the landing page. It's not on the landing page anymore. It's on the coming soon page. So I might forego making more candy today and just get up early tomorrow morning and make candy all day tomorrow, because Michael will be here and I can utilize him. He can be running the press while I'm stretching. He wants to pull the candy, so you know, if you've got a young dude that wants to help you do the hardest thing, you know what, by all means, dude. Have at it. I can tell my shoulder is getting a little bit better, but because I'm starting to get that frozen shoulder syndrome, so I have been like doing stretches every day, 3-4 times a day, trying to maintain my movement. So here we go. So next week, or the week after, I don't know. I'm being ambitious. I'm trying to get like all this stuff done. And I'm not like stressing myself out about it, trying to get it done. Like I have this list of things that I want to do. Is it a realistic list? Yes. Does it all have to be done next week? No. It's just a list. There's no due date. That's the one thing about being an it's the one thing about being an entrepreneur. I have my timeline. That is the only timeline I need to follow. And if I don't stress out about it, then it doesn't get stressed out about. And you know what? That means more joy in the candy. Because I love doing this. And I'm actually gonna take a class if I can afford it. There's 2 things I want to do. One is go to Vid Summit again this year. That's kind of like it's like my religious what do they go on, sojourns. It's like I just like to sit amongst the people that are all that creative energy in one room. I don't even need to talk to nobody. I just like to sit there and take it all in, because I spend all year long at home alone, basically. Not alone, but Mikey's got his own creative endeavors, and they're computery, and I try to follow what he says, but it's like, Michael, I am not a computer guru. You want to talk about candy making? I got you. But anything more than that, I'm lost. There's a joke that Ben used to say that I don't think is appropriate for mixed company. Someday when I'm a little bigger and I feel like I don't need to worry about offending anybody. I mean, and if you're still there, I know it wouldn't offend you. You'd probably laugh. Most people I know would laugh, but it only takes one person, and this channel is too small, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize it. I could list, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like, I want to do this when I get time. Because right now, I haven't had time to edit videos. I haven't had time to make experimental candy, like try new flavors. And it's like, because I started this before Michael got his internship, and it was great because I had an extra set of hands doing stuff like this. Like, I would snip that, he'd be rolling it and putting it over there, so I'd never have to lose my rhythm. And I'm not blaming him, I'm not mad at him. I am grateful he is doing something that he loves. That is not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is it takes twice as long for me to do this by myself. And I'm not complaining. It's either way. And can I hire someone? Not right now. Not until I'm in a commercial kitchen. So a lot of things hinge on this commercial kitchen. And that's why a lot of this stuff, making new flavors, making new candies, because I have a whole list of candies I want to make. I got to get the KitchenAids serviced. Like, I got all this stuff to do it so I can do it myself, because I ain't no crazy person that's going to pay someone a bunch of money, like $300 or $400, to do something I can do in an afternoon. And I've been working on some other stuff because I had a rough week a couple weeks back, and I kind of got derailed a little bit. And just May in general is a really hard month for me now, mentally speaking. It's been for a long time, but I still keep going. Right foot, left foot, right? But, so I got a serger. I used all my Amazon points. And I bought a serger, a sewing machine, because I have these ideas. And I was supposed to get an A10 Mini ISO, but I am going to save up for that and buy it from a reputable dealer, not Amazon. Not saying Amazon, the people that sell on Amazon are not reputable, not coming at anybody. I don't want to run into, oh, you bought it on Amazon, well, the warranty is no longer good. I don't want to run into that. Not with something that is $700 or whatever it is now. I don't want to deal with that. I want to be able to say, hey, your shit don't work. Fix it. So that's something that I've started putting aside for. Vid Summit is something that I've put aside for. I have someone I need to reach out to, or I want to reach out to. I don't need to. Someone I met at Vid Summit last year, and I'd be like, dude. Oh, this is going to be epic. I'm so excited. These are so pretty. I don't like the sour ones. I don't like sour at all. Like, I like a little tart, like limeade tart, you know. But the whole super sour puckery stuff, nope, no thank you. So I rely on other people to tell me. It's like, okay, I know that it tastes like blue raspberry because it stays in my mouth long enough for me to recognize the blue raspberry. After that, I spit out my own candy. I know that sounds bad, but I don't like sour. If it was regular blue raspberry, I'd be all on it. Because, what is it, Mr. Misty's, the blue raspberry Mr. Misty from Dairy Queen, that was my favorite. We're almost done. Look at this. Look at that mound. He's a little guy now. Oh, you're just half the blob you used to be. Okay. Wait till you see how many candies we got. This is crazy how many candies this makes. I think I'm going to package them all up. And I got to wait for them to cool a little bit. I got to wait for them to cool a little bit. So about, I don't know, half hour. I'll let them lay on the table and cool. And then they pretty much break apart. I'm gonna find the warm spot here. Well, come on, you know you want to. You want to stay nice and warm so you can make it into candy. This is called Sweet Talking the Sweets. There we go. That one got all angular. Okay. I like, when I'm working by myself, I'm pretty much trying to stick to 2 now because I seem to be getting cold. They're catching cold. I thought there was a delivery. Speedy delivery. All right. Yeah, I touched the lamp. So I think use like, I don't know, like the inside of my thumb, I guess. He's getting so small. He's still nice and warm though. That's one thing I like about this. It keeps my hands warm. After working in all the bakeries, my hands, I swear to God, they're impenetrable to warmth. I always say, cold hands, warm heart. There we go. Let's get this guy done. Because he's got a silly small spot in him. There we go. We're running out of room. It's Mega Made, sir. I just have random things that come to my head. I apologize. What is the spinny black tool that? Yes. So this is a prototype for what I call the candy cog. It was 3D printed using ABS, sanded, acetoned, sanded, acetoned, sanded, acetoned, repeat process 4 times, and then it was sealed with food grade resin, sanded again, or actually buffed. It wasn't really sanded. At least on the edges where it's going to come in contact, because I didn't want anything to go awry. So, but this is my design. I designed it myself. It is made on a what do they call it? Pasta roller. I use a pasta roller as my base, and so that's all food safe. And so yeah, because I could order one from overseas. He'd be closer to you than he is to me, Andy. The company anyway. But it was gonna cost like almost $1,000, and I'm like, I don't have $1,000 to spend on something like this. Not when I can build it myself. Now the batch roller is gonna be closer to $3,000 to $4,000. Buying it new, shipping from the same company, I think. But I've been trying to find one used here. They do have candy presses, like on, what's that, eBay and stuff. But those are antique, and I know they're food safe. You know, they're food safe-ish. I question brass, but that's me. I don't know. I just have this thing. Anyway, so I made it, and I'm kind of proud of it. It doesn't look like much, but I tell you what, I wouldn't be able to do 13-pound batches if I didn't have this. But the batch roller I want because I want to do image candy, like rocks and rolls, and I think it's True La La that does them too. Because I used to do canes for polymer clay and for regular clay. I've done canes in what's it called? Fondant. I did canes to do a buffalo plaid ribbon, which was really kind of interesting. It was a lot of fun though. Learned about myself. So the only real difference, I think, between making canes, you know, to make the image candies, and the polymer clay and the fondant is just comes down to technique. The design is kind of the same. I mean, you can only do so much. I hate when these get really short, so I'm going to cut these off into little niblets. I've ruined more pairs of gloves using those scissors to cut candy than I have, like, even when I was working in the machine shop or in the equipment shop. Whew. So close and yet so far. You know what? I'm going to try. We're getting to the end here. Okay. I think maybe I'll try next batch because right now my tummy's growling. I scheduled these live streams for right during my lunch hour. It's like, what did I do that for? But I tried to pick a time where it could be seen by a multitude of people. Whoops, see, that's why I hang on to that. Okay. Let's slide these over. You over. Oops. Okay. My table's getting full. So I'll have memberships going probably probably going in the next week or so on my website, and I think the Ko-Fi's still going. I'm trying to think of what else I have as a way to contact me, make requests. You know, you could leave a comment in the comments if you're watching this on the replay. If there's a certain flavor you want, let me know, because I don't make this candy for me. This is a candy I don't even like. This sour? Nope. No thanks. This needs to be a little bit thinner. There we go. All right. Every once in a while it gets caught. That's okay. Oops. Oh no! Man down! There's always one piece that ends up on the floor. Almost done. So close. So we need to make this a little rounder. There we go. That likes to fall off in my hand every once in a while. That's one of the design flaws. It's a pasta machine. It's not a candy roller. So the handle comes off really easily. But I can fix that. Because it still needs to come off so I can wash it. So you just put a set screw in there. Okay. No candy touching. No candy cuddles today. All right, I'm gonna leave this here. Let's get these 2, 3 done. Whew. So I got probably this. There's one, probably 3 more. There we go. Stuff wants to be in the way. There we go. So, let's see what we got here. I don't want to go too thin. I don't want to be too thick. So, yeah, 2 more. What did I say? 2 or 3? I mean, I could really get technical and cut 1 in half, and then I hit 3. But we're not going to do that because I don't want to. I want to be done. All right. This is the last one. I'm going to take the gloves off. That's why, Andy, you and I. It's like I got some, I don't like this candy. That's the problem. I want to see something. I want to see something. There we go. See, that's awesome. And hide comment. Cool. I've got one of those, what are they called? Framios, where you can download pictures or clips of movies or video and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is do that. So let's see. I'm gonna show you overhead. Check that out. That's not even all of it. I have it piled up. Let me get a drink first because I'm sweating and I need some water. And then we'll break up some of these. Okay. Thank you for having patience with me. I need to find that other. So I've got these gloves. And this is going to be a challenge to get these on my hands because I just washed my hands. So, oh, you know what we need to get? I got a new tub. What do I do with him now? Oh, that's right. I used him for something else. Never mind. So, actually, let's do travel cam. We're going to bring you right here. Just turn you around. So, maybe. Hang on. You get to see the big pot outside. There. So these are the little shorter pieces that I don't like to carry over. And then these were all the ones I cut with the scissors. You can see they're just little, these I use for samples. These are sample size. So all I need to do is, it's not as satisfying in the tray, but they just break apart. And this is how I bring this whole kit and caboodle over there. I'll just break them up and put them in there. But I want to get a couple more of the bins. They're busing bins. And, well, they're the size of a busing bin. They're not exactly a busing bin. But they have an airtight seal on them. Alright, let's move back to the overhead camera. There we go. So, these ones are still warm. So we're going to have to move these. But, yeah, they just drop and they break. So, I'm trying to make room. So then I just put them in here. So even these ones might be samples. I don't know. This one for sure. This one's really small. But I just want to give people a taste. So this is what I do. Can you see? Am I on the camera? So just make sure that they're all nice and broken up. Because they don't always break. And I don't want them to go flying. This is a small batch compared to like Rocks and Rolls. I think they do, and Hercules and Logan's, they all do like 22 to 30 pound batches. I'm doing 13. So they're doing, but they also have a whole team and they have the tools and the equipment. So I'll get there though. I'm not worried about it. Usually they just, if I had that tub, I put I put my samples in it so they were all in one space. I forgot that I wanted to use it for this because I found it. I was using it upstairs in the studio to hold fabric. So it's not got paint on it or resin or anything like that. It had all my like sewing machine tools and whatnot in it, so, which were in a bin, so there's no oil, no resins, no anything, so it's fine. But there's on Web's Restaurant Store, there's a bin that's about the size of a bus bin, and it's got a resistant cap, so lid. It's got the sealed lid, so I can actually just put these in there and give it a shake, and all these would get broken up. But for now, we just break them by hand, and this is much faster. Although doing this, but I just wanted to show you. And I like this piece, I'll put over here because I'll take the scissors and I'll cut those little niblets off. I might leave them on too, who knows. I'm getting indecisive in my old age. Because I'm not old, I'm really not. But, you know, I'm older than Andy. And Andy says he's old. You're getting a pillow roller? Ah, I had one that I designed myself because I'm in the United States, and if I remember correctly, you're in the UK. I think you and Andy are better mates than, because he's in the UK too. But I have to ship mine over here, and with the tariffs, because Agent Orange and his cronies decided to do all this stuff, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, you know. I'm still proud to be American, but I try not to talk politics, but tariffs have an impact on me. They have an impact on all of us that live here. And, you know, between AI and tariffs, which I like AI. I'm okay with AI. AI helps me. It does my line drawings, and then I go in and color it in. Because I can draw, sort of, but it's faster if I have it start for me, and then I just go in and fill in what I need to fill in. So, anyway, this is how I do it for now. Because even if I go like this, it'll break them up. I mean, I just don't like the jagged edge of them. I like how it looks like a pillow. And this is the only reason why they don't break as nicely is because I made a modification, and I've been trying to find someone who will fabricate it for me. So I don't have to go through the whole process of sanding and all the things that I had to do to my prototype. I'm willing to pay someone, but I can't find anybody to make it. So I might just end up making my own again. I might make it out of some oak instead of, because I know oak. Was it white oak or red oak? I can't remember which. Stupid hard. Kitty's one out of the bedroom. But this is what I'll do once these all are cool. Those ones over there are still relatively warm, and they just get smooshed in my hand. So, but let me take these gloves off. Excuse me. I'm gonna quit for now, and then I grab more. Typical redhead. Anyway, I can say that because I'm redhead. Break up the... Aw. The pillow roller itself is $300, yes, but the shipping and tariffs make it closer to $1,000 by the time I pay for it, and conversion and all that. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money. So, we do what we can do. So let's give you a close-up real quick. Travel camera. This is my travel camera. This goes with me. Okay, that was my switch pad. So maybe we can do it like this. There we go. Sorry for the wiggles, but that's how it turned out. I think it turned out really pretty, and I will go get something to eat, let this cool, and take a break for about a half hour, and then come back and I gotta print labels too. Print labels. So my pillow roller does okay until I make enough money to actually spend that kind of money on something. Then we'll, or I find one used in the States, you know. Maybe there's a candy company that does chocolate. Let's do the other camera here. There's a candy company that does chocolate that is going out of business, unfortunately, after like 140 years or something like that. So, as sad as I am, because I sent everybody, because I don't do chocolate. I don't do chocolate at all. So, so maybe I can reach out to them. Maybe they have something that they used to use for hard candy. I don't know. It's worth a try. But I am going to head out. I'm starving. I need to eat something. I need some protein, not some candy. But thanks for joining me. Check back. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And check back. I'm going to do live streams. Videos are too much right now for me. I might chop these up into shorts. But we'll see. I'm working on it. I'm taking classes on YouTube too. And I've been here for a while. That's how I know Andy. Bye, Andy. Good night, Andy. And good night, Candy Kingdom. I know it's late there for y'all. Toodaloo. Now I gotta figure out how to end the live stream. Is this the button?